Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit PetraeaWealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
We always talk about Petrea in Greek. It means family. We have one of the family members, one of the great members of the Petrea Wealth Group. Angie Politarhos is joining us this weekend. How are you doing?
How you doing, everybody out there?
So for those that are maybe just catching up here to Family First Retirement, haven't heard you before, they've heard your name, but they've never actually heard from you before. Let's start from the beginning. How did you get started, the Petrea Wealth Group, and what exactly is it that you do?
Well, I had a large company. I was in a coffee distribution company that I had a large company, and I was bought out by a large conglomerate. And after I sold my company, I was transitioning into assisting my husband with his car dealership, and from that, I started working with George. And I've been with George 7 years.
Tell me about your day-to-day experience working with George.
It's just paradise to be with George. Just paradise. What can I tell you?
What else could it possibly be?
I'm the older sister, so I practically raised George.
True.
Yep.
And now he's raising me. So how does that go? How does it work out for everybody?
Yes.
Think about it.
So you hear about the
turn around.
George, you hear about the dynamic of a lot of financial advisors work with their kids. I mean, you do. You work with Jared every single day. But George, what is it like having your sister on the other side of the wall?
It's a great thing. It really is. And I don't mean this, and I don't want it to come off. Angie is a little bit older than I am. Mm-hmm. And what's nice is she has the experiences. She's in that age where our customers are retiring, right?
Sure.
We talk about your retirement and about Social Security and Medicare and all those areas of concern as we get older. And Angie sits there because and what's nice is Angie's there. She's at that age group. She understands about the Medicare and how to understand about Social Security and the gaps and pitfalls that we have in retirement. So bringing this doesn't come off the right way, I know, but the experience of life, that's a little bit more than I have experience in life because she's a couple years older. Doesn't look it, but she's a couple years older. And she brings that lifetime experience with the people because she can relate more with the person that's 65, 68, that's on Medicare. Their spouse is older. What's the best choices? What's really nice, Mark, is that we have a great proprietary programs here at Family First Retirement that helps you plan for retirement, gives you there. But you need to have those experiences go with that. And that's what happens when you work with a team like Petrea Wealth Group. Myself and my team here, we have those experiences. We have the knowledge, the education and information to give you to help you be in the right place. And the thing that people have to remember is it starts with you, right? It starts with you picking up the phone and giving us a call at 302-330-2166, 302-330-2166, and to schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting to find out where I'm going, how I'm going to go forward, when's the right time to take Social Security, and all those questions that come with retirement and planning for retirement. Like we always say, we take the gray out of your retirement and we make it black and white. So give us a call at 302-330-2166 and let's help you start taking those next steps. Myself, Angie, Achilles, Jared, also our strategic business partner, Ernie Callias, our CPA, to help get those questions answered and help you move in the right direction.
There is nothing wrong with having that life experience. I know you said that a second ago. It's like, look, I don't want to downgrade, how long we've been doing this, but that's not a bad thing. I'll be honest with you, George.
No.
I'd rather work with somebody that has a couple of years of experience behind them. Not a knock against the kid coming out of college.
Absolutely.
That, wants to help people out that's only 20 years old. Hey, man, best of luck to you. I want to work with the adult over here who's been doing this for a hot minute.
Correct.
And the beautiful thing about Petrea Wealth is that we have Jared, who's full of energy, great ideas. We have Achilles and George that are middle of the road age.
Yep.
And you have me, who's the older one, much older one, that has lived through, that has gone through Social Security, Medicare, death of your spouse, transitioning through life. And we have a whole perspective, all of us together, of different ideas and suggestions for our clients, which I think is
of experience.
Yes.
But here's the thing. You just said you're drawing on Social Security. How can you do that when you're only 32 years old, Angie? I didn't know that was...
Is that in cat years?
Yes.
You can
everybody, they're making fun of me, but I'm 68, everybody.
That's right.
And I'm proud of it.
You are a feisty, fired up. I love it. You are a ball of energy.
Does not look her age at all.
Amen. You can meet the entire team when you visit PetreaWealth.com. Again, PATRIA Wealth.com. And from the homepage, you can also schedule that no-cost, no obligation consultation. So, Angie, George, let's get to it because you just brought up Social Security. We've talked about it. We talked about waiting to claim Social Security because it could result in bigger monthly paycheck. But Dave Ramsey had this idea. I want to get your take on it. He said, take your Social Security at 62, then invest that money in a mutual fund, saying that it's going to be more than make up for that money that would have been included in your checks had you claimed it later. So taking Social Security early. What's your take on that?
That's really a broad brush, I think, to put out there.
Yes.
How do you sit there? Because we're all not the same, right? Mark, you and I talk about this all the time, and obviously, Angie.
Yeah.
I wear a size 15, 14 shoe. Mark, let's be real, Angie's foot's bigger than yours at size 6.
Why?
So what's right for me is not necessarily right for you. So for Dave Ramsey to come out there and make this broad brush of saying, I'm going to start taking at 62 and invest those funds that you don't need, I have a problem with that. Because we know that we have that full retirement age benefit, right? The age when you can start taking Social Security without a penalty, and it's based on the year of birth. But if I'm going to take it at 62 and I'm still working, why would I lose my money and have a penalty paid?
Well, it's not just losing your money. You also can only earn so many dollars before you're penalized to pay for every $2 you pay $1 back. So that doesn't really make sense.
Correct. And I'd rather, and we just had customers come in last week, Paul and Linda. They've been with us now, my goodness gracious, 4 years. Mm-hmm. And we've had them set up, and their accountant came in and said, why are you not taking your Social Security? And Linda's only 63 and Paul's much older. As we sat down and went through this scenario with them, the reason we have not taken it is because she was still working, she had income coming in, and it made no sense. She was on that borderline, because she's working part-time now, that you can only make in this year, in 2024, $22,420 of income. Well, she's really close to that number. And sometime last year she made more than that, the year before she made less, but why would you risk losing something of the Social Security and having that penalty? So after we sat down with Paul and Linda, we made her stop working now, and now she's taking her Social Security, and we are investing those funds because they don't really need it. And that's what he's speaking about, using their dollars to help you plan more efficiently. It's kind of like, Mark, when you have a 401k, right, Angie, a
Right.
TSP, and you have money in there. Do you want to use your money or do you want to use the government's money?
I mean, I'll take the government's money all day.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would you sit there and use your own money?
Right.
The government takes our dollars, and Mark, you know I've said this a million times. I love this country.
Yes, sir.
I don't like the way they spend my money. And that's one of the reasons that when you come in, there's so much information right on the internet. Everything on the internet's so true, right, folks?
Like my driver's license.
Yeah, we know that, Mark.
Height and
Please. So that's why it's so important that you come in and you get the Family First Retirement Plan. It's a customized plan to fit your wants, desires, and dreams.
Exactly.
When you come in, it's going to cost an hour of your time, folks, an hour. You come in, we're going to find out about your income today. We're going to talk about what money you're having coming in now, what you have saved or earmarked for retirement. We're going to go over expenses with you, and that's really a hard topic, don't you think?
Absolutely.
People find out so much about their spouses when they find out expenses.
And people don't really, when they are thinking of retiring, they really don't factor in what their expenses are. The goal is when you retire to live the same life that you're living when you're employed. Mm-hmm. That is your goal, folks. So people don't factor in going to the hairdressers every week or going to Starbucks 5 times a week or doing this or going on trips or buying extra gifts for their grandkids. You have to factor in all of those things when you're heading into retirement. And that's what we do for you. We create those reports and you actually see it in black and white. When you see it in black and white, it has an entirely different picture.
Yep.
It's about making sure your income continues to be what you want, when you want, and how you want to spend it in retirement.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're going to jump on the issue of Social Security. We have a proprietary program that's called the Social Security Risk Analysis Report. And we've all heard about Social Security having the gaps and pitfalls coming up. And they just had great news last weekend that they gave another year to Social Security before it becomes illiquid.
All right.
So
One more year of anxiety.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So now by 2033, 2034, it will be not able to fund or pay its debts. But we have to plan how to work with that and how to be prepared for that. And obviously, we're going to go over Medicare. Big question marks about Medicare and how to take it, when to take it, what's the right plan for you, and how to move in the right direction. But it's customized. And that's what you get when you come to us at Betrayal Wealth. You get the Family First Retirement Plan done by your family at Betrayal to help your family, your wife, your husband, your children, grandchildren have the best life possible going forward. Folks, if you've saved $200,000 plus for retirement, and that money is either in a 401k, a thrift savings plan, a 403b, savings, CDs, money markets, earmarked for retirement, need to give us a call at 302-330-2166. That's 302-330-2166, or go to Patria, Patria, wealth.com, and schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting. Come in here to our office at 501 Silverside Road in Wilmington. Sit down, have a good cup of coffee, right? Bring the information. Let's have transparency. Let's start asking the questions, because this is your retirement, not your friend's retirement. This is your way that you want to go forward. And your dreams, as Angie and I have different dreams, could be different than your neighbors or your brothers or sisters. Mm-hmm. So let's build a plan to fit your wants and needs. Call us today to schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting in the office here in Wilmington.
Angie, I'm glad you're here this weekend, because there's always a lot of conversation as we're talking about Social Security, but also talking about Medicare. So I know it can be confusing. I know it can be overwhelming. What are people's biggest concerns about Medicare right now, and how are you helping them out, Angie?
Well, Medicare is, if everybody knows, there's 10,000 people daily aging into age 65 preparing for Medicare. Whether they turn on Medicare at 65 is another story, because if you're employed, you do not have to turn on Medicare Part A and Part B. You can register for Part A, but you do not have to turn on Part B until you are actually retired. So people do not know what to do transitioning into Medicare. There's so many different plans. They watch TV. There's so many advertisements out there. And a lot of it, folks, I hate to say, is based on your income, what you can afford. So that's another thing that we look at here at Patria Wealth. What can you afford? The best plans are the supplemental plans, and then there are the Medicare Advantage plans. It depends on, basically what you can afford and where you're heading. And we guide you and assist you to do that. We help you turn on your Medicare Part A and Part B. We sit down, we go over, we got to look at your drugs to see what your drug costs are going to be, because what the drug costs are pre-Medicare age and Medicare age are entirely different. You might be in a plan at work and you pay $2 for a drug, and then when you go on Medicare, you're now paying $90 for that drug. Not that I'm saying that it's fair, but it's very complex. So there's so many different things to look at heading into Medicare that we are here to guide you and assist you to prepare for.
People always sit there and see those commercials on TV, and they're watching Joe Namath and talk about how Medicare Advantage is the greatest thing in the world. We can give you money back from Part B. What's the difference between Medicare Advantage and supplemental plans?
Well, you watch the TV commercials and they say a lot of zero premiums, and then they help you. They give you a card for over-the-counter medicine and things of that nature. What they don't tell you are you have a lot of out-of-pocket costs. Each company is a little bit different, but they average $5,000 to $10,000 out-of-pocket deductibles a year. So if you were to be sick heading into Medicare, which we know as we age, we're not getting healthier, we are getting sicker, needless to say. What happens is that each year on the anniversary date, starting January, it starts all over again. So let's suppose you have a $6,500 deductible. When you meet that $6,500 deductible, then you have 100% coverage. Whereas the supplemental plans, I'm talking about Plan G basically, is you pay the first $240 a year and then you have 100% coverage. What also is the difference is the Medicare Advantage plans. When you sign up for Medicare Part B, it's $174.70 for the majority of the people. It's based on income. You pay a zero premium for most of these Medicare Advantage plans. What happens with the supplemental plans, you're paying the $174.70 and you're paying the cost of a supplemental plan, which the average person for, say in this tri-state area is about $150, $155 when you're 65 years old. And usually that rate stays the same for 2 years, and then it goes up according to your age. But the difference is that you safely know that it's costing me $240 a year, and then I have 100% coverage. So it doesn't matter if you have 10 operations or you have 5 PET scans or anything that's going on in your life, you have 100% coverage. That's the difference.
When you get there, is it automatically you approved?
You have a one-time opportunity when you're 65 to get no underwriting for the supplemental plans. One-time opportunity. After that, there would be underwriting. Suppose you go into a Medicare Advantage plan and you're there for 2 years. I'll give you a perfect example. We have a customer that George was just referring to. They signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan. That's what they wanted. They didn't want to pay anything. Well, 6 months later, the gentleman gets cancer. So the next year he says, I want to get out of the Medicare Advantage plan. I want to get a supplemental plan. Well, one of the 3 questions is underwriting is, do you have cancer? They will not accept them. So he is stuck in a Medicare Advantage plan because he had the one-time opportunity with no underwriting to get into a supplemental plan, and he chose to take another avenue.
With that being said, I'm 67 years old. I'm still working. I have insurance through my job, and I sign up for Part A, you said, right? Because it's free.
Free.
At 65, you have to, pretty much, right?
Right.
But you don't sign up for Part B.
Correct.
So when I retire at 67, do I then sign up for Part B, and then I have my one-time opportunity?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
That's your one-time opportunity. As long as you have credible coverage, and then when you apply for Medicare Part B, we produce the information to them to show them that you had credible coverage up until you retired, and you have that first-time opportunity to sign up for a supplemental plan. But the Medicare plan, everybody thinks, oh, it's just you go make a 5-minute decision. You really need to think about, folks, what you want to do, because these are life-changing decisions. And, statistically speaking, the average amount that people pay into health care after 65 or retiring is about, I think, $250,000, and the men's $235,000.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, the women get paid more?
It costs them more because they live longer.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm just giving an example for myself. My husband was very sick, and he had a supplemental plan. And I have to thank God every day that I had the knowledge to know I'm going to get this man a supplemental plan.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, my husband had an average of 10 to 12 surgeries a year. We would have dwindled a large amount of our savings, that we had headed for our retirement. And luckily, I never paid a dime. And for 10 years, my husband was sick, very sick, and it never cost us a dime. So that premium that I paid every month, I thankfully gave that premium. So I just say, folks, you don't know. Knowledge is power. Come to us. Give us the opportunity to assist you and guide you. It's a lot of legwork. It's a lot of work. We can sign you up for Part A while you're still employed. When you're ready to retire, I will sign you up for Part B. I will get all the documents. I'll submit them for you, and I will set you up with a plan. That's what we do here. We do the entire program for you. So give us the opportunity to help you. That's what we're here for.
We are going to do the whole picture for you, as Angie says. So when you call us at 302-330-2166 or go to Patria, P-A-T-R-I-A, wealth.com to schedule your no-cost, no-obligation meeting. The information Angie has to offer about that age 65 plus. What's the right choice for Medicare? Do I do a Medicare Advantage? Do I do a supplement plan? It's priceless. It really is, because education, knowledge is power. Call us at 302-330-2166, and let's start that process so you can get the answers so that you can make the right choice for your family.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.